All right guys, we're gonna be doing some 90-90 box sets here, working on the rotation in your hips, loosen up your hip flexors, your internal, external rotators of your hips, as well as some hip abductors, getting some strength there and some functional strength and range of motion in our hip joints, okay? So to start, you're gonna have your feet spread a little bit wider than your hips, a little bit wider than shoulders here, knees about 90 degrees. You're gonna start in this position here. If you're really good at this, you can keep your arms out in front while you do this. I don't have the best hip mobility, so I typically don't do that. So you're going to rotate to one side. You want about a 90-degree angle. Take your knee front and back. This leg should be basically directly out to your side here. The first thing we're going to do is loosen up the outside of this right hip, the hip out in front here. And what you're going to do that is you're going to drive your front leg into the mat, working up, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%, all the way up to 100%, until you're pushing as hard as you can into this mat. Hold it for 3 seconds, and then relax. Go through that 3 times. After you've gone through that 3 times, you're going to sit up nice and tall, try to keep your back flat, and you're just going to bend forward at the waist without arching your low back. You should feel a nice stretch on the outside of your right hip, that hip in the front, kind of in your back pocket area. Okay. From there, we're going to move this hand inside our legs back behind us, and we're going to squeeze this butt cheek on this side, drive that hip forward. If you're tight here, you'll feel a stretch along the front of your left hip, your hip flexor area. Hold that for about 10 to 20 seconds. You're gonna move your hand back here and between your legs. And now we're gonna work on some functional range of motion, strengthening in this back hip, okay? So to do that, you're gonna keep this knee in contact, and you're going to try to lift your foot up off the mat, so that will look like this. Hold it 3 seconds. Back down. Same thing. Hold it 3 seconds. Back down. Run through that 3 to 5 times. Really get the muscles firing in this hip. Then we're going to work on using that end range while we move this back leg. So tighten your core, sit up tall. You're going to start out by lifting this whole leg straight up off the mat. Then you're going to bring that forward without your foot touching the mat until your heels are together. Then you're going to come back to that starting position. Same thing, lift up, come forward, come back. Okay, and the last one here, to get some strength in this left hip again, you're going to lift your leg straight up, hold it tight there, straighten that leg, hold it, 1, 2, 3, bend it, come back. That would be 1 rep, try about 3 to 5 there. That's gonna get you some nice strength inside that hip at the end range, okay? From there, you're gonna rotate back to the starting position, rotate over to the opposite side. We're gonna run through the same sequence. Give it a shot.